Hello my dear students and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today we are doing a very important chapter of ICSE Class 9 Commercial Studies, that is banking, and I'll explain this chapter in a very fun way to you so that you remember all the key points, all the definitions, the difference between everything in a fun story way. So let's begin. Now, what is a bank? So imagine that you live in a magical town where there's a giant, trustworthy treasure house called the bank tree. Can you see this? So people come to the tree and hang their money bags on its strong branches for safekeeping. The tree watches over the money day and night so that no thief can touch it. But here's the amazing part. The bank tree doesn't just store money. When someone in town needs money to start a shop, like this farmer over here, okay? So when he needs money to start a shop or buy seeds for farming or build a house, the tree lends him money. Okay, the tree lends them the money bags hanging on the branches. Now the people return the money later with a little extra as a thank you. Can you see here? I repay money with extra. So the people return the money later with a little extra as a thank you. And this extra helps the tree stay strong and keep growing. So the bank tree becomes the heart of the town, protecting money, lending money, helping people grow and keeping the whole town's economy alive. In the same way, students, a bank is a financial institution that accepts deposits from the public, okay, and provides loans and other financial services. So what is banking? Banking is the business, okay, of what a bank is doing. It's doing a business. So banking refers to the business of receiving deposits, safeguarding money and lending funds to individuals and businesses. So this is the business of receiving the deposits, safeguarding the money and then lending the funds to individuals and businesses whoever needs it. And why does a bank does it? Okay, why is it? Because it's basically a business. Okay, because the extra thing that they give them helps the bank. So it is a profit making institution. Only central bank is not. We'll study that later on. So that was the meaning of definition. So now meaning of banking. Now we have to give the definition also. So definition of bank according to Banking Regulation Act 1949. Students, this is a very important definition and you should learn it word by word. Okay. So what is the definition? Banking means the accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public. Repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawal by check, draft order or otherwise. Now what does it mean? Listen to one line carefully. Okay. See, what is banking? Banking means the accepting. First of all, we accept deposits. Okay. Accepting. Why they accept deposits? For the purpose of lending or investment. Okay. Why? See, the tree did not have its own money. He accepted money, okay, and then lended that money for to different farmers for investment, for, okay, so for lending or investment of deposits of money. What it is accepting? Deposits of money. From where? From the public. Now repayable. When is it repayable? Now suppose there's a bank and I have come to deposit my money. Okay, I have come to deposit my money. I will give the money to the bank. Now bank will lend this money to someone else. Okay. Now when I come back again, I said I say I have deposited money in your bank. Now you give me back. Okay. So bank has to give me that money back. Okay. When it repays? On demand. Okay. Whenever I demand or otherwise and withdrawal by check. So I give the check to someone that okay, I have deposited money in my bank. Now this is the check. You can go and take money. Okay. So when does bank repay? On demand or otherwise, and withdrawal by check, draft order, I can give a check or a draft order or otherwise. Okay. Now, there's also a definition of bank by different experts. So in the exam, if you are told, you are asked what is a bank, you first will have to write meaning, then you write one definition. So you can write the definition that I told you of the Regulation Act. Otherwise, you can write any of the three definitions that I'll be giving you now. But I would suggest you write that particular definition that I just explained. Okay, but you can, but since these three are in the textbook, I'm also explaining you these. So according to Kingsley, bank is an establishment which makes to individuals such advances of money as may be required and safely made, and to which individuals entrust money when not required them for use. Now, bank is such an establishment which makes to individuals such advances of money, means is an institution which lends you money, which lends people money as and when required, and this is a safe method of lending money. If we want money, we should go to bank and take money from it, and not from any money lenders and all, because it is safe. Now, that was the first function. Then, and to which individuals entrust money, and we can also entrust bank that if we have extra money and we don't require this money for use right now, we can go and deposit that money in the bank. Okay, so and to which individuals entrust money when not required them for use. Second, by R.P. Kent, an organization whose principal operations are concerned with accumulation of temporarily idle money of the general public for the purpose of advancing to others for expenditure. So what is R.P. Kent saying? That bank is such an organization, okay, whose main principal operations is concerned with two things: accumulation of temporarily idle money of the general public. Okay, now general public have some money, and if it is lying idle, if it is of no use right now, it's extra money that he has, then that money is accumulated by bank. Okay, why? For the purpose of advancing to others for expenditure. Now there will be some other group of people who would want to spend that money, maybe when they are starting a business or they are buying a house or something. So the bank can advance that money which was temporarily idle money of some other public to these people, okay, those who require for expenditure. Then according to Crowther, the banker's business is to take the debts of other people to offer his own in exchange and thereby create money. So what is he saying? Banker's business is to take the debts of other people to offer his own in exchange. So what does he get? What does the banker get? Okay, what is this bank business? I told you, it takes money from someone, gives money to someone else, and in return takes some interest, and that is how it creates money. Okay, let me see. It is charging. Yeah. Now we have different types of banks. We have central bank in our course. We have commercial banks, industrial banks, merchant banks, exchange banks, agricultural banks, cooperative banks, post office saving banks. We'll be studying all of them in detail. I have given one liner to explain you all these type of banks, but two most important banks are central bank and commercial banks. And also there is indigenous banks. So two out of these nine, two we will study in detail, others we will study in short. Now, what is a central bank? Now, students, uh, in the end, when I explain you all the type of banks, I'll compare central bank and commercial bank. You will study in detail there as well about central bank. But as of now, you understand that this is the apex bank of the country. Okay, so at the top, this bank is there. Now, it issues currency, controls credit, regulates and supervises all the banks, and act as banker to the government. This is very important. It act as a banker to the government, whereas all other banks are banker to individuals, firms or public, right? Central bank is the bank of, is the head of all the other banks, you can understand. Okay, so it is the apex bank of a country. In one country there will be one central bank. That bank is the only bank that is authorized to issue currency. Central bank issues currency. It controls the credit of the whole government. of the whole country. It regulates and supervises all the banks and act as a banker to the government. So all these four functions are very, very important. Next is commercial banks. So all the other banks that you look around, that you have around, are basically commercial banks. So what are commercial banks? The picture is suggesting the same. It accepts deposits from the public and provide loans. So it is accepting on one hand and providing loans on the other hand. Okay, they operate for profit. Obviously they will operate for profit. Central bank doesn't operate for profit, whereas commercial banks, as the name suggests, operates for profit and offers services such as deposits, credit facility, agency service and utility service. When we do functions of banks in detail, I will tell you all these functions of commercial bank in detail. What are they? So you will learn this properly. Now the third type of banks is merchant banks. Look at the pictures that I've given you. Okay, if you remember these pictures, you'll be able to write, you'll be able to differentiate between, otherwise it's very difficult. Okay, so see, what are merchant banks? Merchant banks provide financial advisory services. It gives financial advisory services to firms, business organizations, okay, industries. So it provides financial advisory services. Okay, it manages corporate finance and assist companies in raising their capital. Okay, so the bank is helping these merchants, you can say. Okay, it provides financial advisory service. It provides all the services and helps these companies in raising capital. Can you see, it is these bankers are helping him raise the capital. Now again, see the pictures, very clearly evident. Exchange banks. Exchange banks specialize in foreign exchange transactions. When you want the foreign exchange, okay, when you go into some other country, you want, dollars or maybe pounds or euros, but your government has rupees, so you can exchange. Now if there is some international payment that you have received, for example, I receive international payments from YouTube. Okay, actually not from YouTube, but also through the sales of my books. Now I receive them in yen, Japanese currency. So I have to go to exchange banks. So exchange banks specialize in foreign exchange transactions and international payments. Okay, so these are the two uses of exchange banks. Then comes agricultural banks. Again, you can see these are the agricultural products. So agricultural banks. These banks provide loans and financial assistance to farmers for agricultural activities. Clear to you? Now cooperative banks. I have already explained you in detail in our further chapters about cooperatives, right? So cooperative banks are also like that. Okay, they function on the cooperative principles. Okay, means there are few people, okay, few members of that cooperative society who form these type of banks. Now these banks function on cooperative principles and provide credit, or you can say loans, to members at a reasonable rate. Okay, at a rate lesser than the commercial banks. So if they want to take loans, they will come to cooperative banks instead of going to some commercial banks where the rate of interest is higher. So here the rate of interest is reasonable. Okay. Now again, post office saving banks. If you remember the slides, you'll be able to write all the answers, students. These banks, now these are not inside the bank. These banks are inside the post office, you can say. So these banks operate through post offices and provide small saving schemes for public. You should ask your parents about post office saving schemes. There are many saving schemes for students. Okay, especially for female students. There are many good saving schemes that post office offers. Okay, so in every post office in every city, okay, there are these saving schemes that are there for the public. So these are small saving schemes for the public, and these type of banks operate through post offices. Now, indigenous banks. So these are the traditional local money lenders. You have seen so many of them in the older uh, you know Hindi movies, where the money lender was always shown as a cruel person. Okay, so he provides loans mainly in rural areas. So these are indigenous or local banks. So these are not actually banks, these are traditional local money lenders who provide loans in rural areas. Now we should study in detail the difference between central bank and commercial bank. So these points will make uh, the explanation of central bank and commercial bank very clear, and you will be able to write big answers as well through these differentiation points. Okay. So let me read out the point of difference. Status. For central bank, we know it is the apex institution of the country's monetary and banking structure. The key words are very important. These are the keywords. Please learn the definition of central bank from here. It is the apex institution of the country's monetary and banking structure, whereas commercial bank is just one of the organs of the money market. Now, when we talk about the ownership, okay, it is owned by the government. Central bank is owned by the government, whereas commercial bank is owned by the shareholders. Objective, it is a non-profit institution, and commercial bank, I have already told you, it's a profit-making institution. If we talk about the customers, who are the customers of central bank? The government. I told you it's the banker to the government, whereas here it is general public. Issue of notes, I told you only and only central bank can issue notes. So it has the monopoly of note issue. No other banks in the country can issue notes. So commercial bank cannot issue notes, but only checks. It can only issue checks. Credit control. It controls credit according to the country's need. Okay. Whereas commercial banks, it creates credit to meet the needs of the business. Now number. Every country has only one central bank, whereas there are several commercial banks in a country. If we talk about foreign exchange, it is the custodian of country's foreign currency reserves. ना इसी के पास है, इसी के पास कस्टडी है किसकी? अपने देश की फॉरेन करेंसी रिजर्व्स की. और ये तो कौन है? कमर्शियल बैंक इज जस्ट अ डीलर इन फॉरेन करेंसीज, whereas the main custodian is central bank. Now it's bankers bank. It is a bankers bank as it keeps their cash reserves, grant financial accommodation and clears their balances. So it is the bankers bank. Okay, as it keeps the cash reserves, grant financial accommodation and clears all the other banks balances. Okay, whereas it receives deposits from and grants loans to public. Okay, so this is bankers bank and this is public's bank, you can say. Role. Now, it helps in setting up financial institutions to strengthen money and capital markets in the country. So it helps in setting up all the financial institutions, okay, financial institutions, so that the money is strengthened, okay, and the capital market in the country is strengthened. So it helps in setting up financial institutions, whereas commercial banks helps industry and commerce by providing finance and other services. Okay, it helps industry and commerce. Now, designation of the chief executive. So the chief executive of central bank is called governor, whereas the chief executive of commercial bank is called chairman. So now the very important part of this chapter is functions of which bank? Commercial bank. Okay. So we are talking about the functions of commercial bank. We have been doing this actually from the very first slide. What is the function of bank? There are now main functions and subsidiary function. Main function from the very first slide is accepting deposits and then granting credit. These are the two main functions of any commercial bank. Accepting the deposit and then granting the credit. Then there are also subsidiary functions. So subsidiary functions are categorized into agency functions and general utility functions. So we'll study about all these functions: accepting deposits, granting credit, agency functions and general utility functions. Let's do them in detail, all these four functions. First is accepting deposits. Okay. So bank attracts deposits for the purpose of making loans and investment. Why bank needs deposit? Why it attracts deposit? Because it has some purpose. What is its purpose? Of making loans and investment. So people deposit their money in banks for the sake of safety and for earning interest. These are the 2 points. They want to keep their money safe and they want to earn interest. That's why people deposit their money in the banks. Now a commercial bank receives deposits from where it receives deposits? From individuals, firms and institutions. A bank offers different types of deposit accounts to suit the needs of various depositors. So bank gives different types of deposit accounts. Okay, whatever is your need. So deposits constitute the main resource of a bank. Bank receives the following types of deposits. So these are the four types of deposits that the bank receives: fixed deposit, saving deposits, current deposit and recurring deposits. Let's study about them. We will also learn about these type of accounts in detail in the later part of the video with a proper good examples and analogies, so you will learn it very well. But right now understand what are these four types of deposits. Fixed deposit. It's a lump sum is deposited for a fixed time period. This is commonly known as FDs. You must have heard from your parents. Okay. एक एफडी बना दी है मैंने 10,000 की या 1 लाख की एफडी बना दी है. So it's lump sum. For example, I have made an FD of 1 lakh rupees for 2 years. So it's a lump sum is deposited for a fixed period for 2 years. And these deposits are repayable on the expiry of the stated. It means when my 2 years, I have stated that it has been deposited for 2 years. So when 2 years get over, I get my money back along with some interest. That is a fixed deposit. Second type of deposits is saving deposits. Now this account is opened for the purpose of depositing small savings. Now if I have small savings, like I'm a housewife, okay, and I don't have big lump sum amount, so I keep on depositing as and when I get some money. Okay, so this account is opened for purpose of depositing small savings. In these deposits, now money can be withdrawn for a specified number of times in a week. Now see, for the first fixed deposit, for example, I have kept it for a fixed period 2 years, then only I can take money out after 2 years. Whereas in saving deposit, I can take money out anytime, but it also has a limit for a specified number of times in a week. Suppose in a week I can take money out only once or twice. Okay, it depends on which type of saving account you have. Then there are current deposits. Now current deposits are not for housewives, they are for business people, for firms. Okay, so such deposits are made by business firms. In the current deposits, money can be deposited and withdrawn as often as the depositor wants. See, in a business, okay, if you are running a business, then there are so many people who will be making payments to you and you will be making payments to so many people. So in this, why the current deposit account, why there are current deposits? Because it has unlimited number of times we can withdraw money or we can deposit money. That is why. Now recurring deposits, you must have heard RD. Now, so two things are very famous with older people: FD and RD, fixed deposits, and this is recurring deposit. So in this deposit, the deposit holder is required to make a deposit of fixed amount. In FD also it was a fixed amount at fixed time of period, but here a deposit of fixed amount every month for a specified period. For example, I have opened a RD of 500 rupees a month. So every month I will deposit 500 rupees. The amount goes on accumulating along with the interest. Now every month I am depositing a fixed amount. Okay, suppose I have opened a RD of 500 rupees every month for 2 years. So for 2 years, I'll keep on depositing 500 rupees every month. So the amount will keep on accumulating and the interest will also keep on accumulating. Okay, this mainly people make so that they can develop a habit of savings. Now the second function. First function is done, deposits, and we studied four types of deposits, right? Now we are doing grant. The second function of the bank, commercial bank, is granting the credit, means granting loans and giving money to people for investment or for expenditure if they need for something. So commercial banks provide loans and advances, cash credit, overdraft facilities, and discounting of bills. These are the four granting credit. The 4 points under granting credits. Okay, let's study each one of them. First is loans and advances. ये तो सब एकदम नाम से clear है, loan देना, उसका अलग नाम है advances. So you can borrow a set amount of money for a set time. Okay, so suppose you are borrowing 1 lakh rupees from a bank and you say that I will give back or return back to the bank in 12 months. Okay, so you can take it all at once or in parts. You can take all the money in at once or you can take it in parts as well. Interest is charged on the total loan amount. Now you are taking 1 lakh rupees but you do not give back 1 lakh rupees. You give back a little more. So interest is charged on the total loan amount. Usually loans need security. Now you cannot just go to the bank and say give me 1 lakh rupees. Okay, this way anyway anyone will go and demand. And how will bank make sure that he will return back the money or not, or who he is? So the loan for loans bank requires some security like assets or a personal guarantee. Okay, either you give assets like your home papers, okay, your property papers, or someone very influential giving you their guarantee. Now banks also offer long-term loans. They give long-term loans to people who are setting up their businesses. You can repay the loan all at once or in parts. So you can repay the loan by giving small amounts to the bank, or you can repay the whole loan all at once. Second type is cash credit. Okay, the bank lets you borrow up to certain limit from the bank. Okay, if you have a cash credit, okay, then the cash credit lets you borrow up to a certain limit from the bank. The money goes into your account. So if you have a cash credit, the bank will give that money in your account and you can take out what you need when you need it. Now in this cash credit, if this is the bank, this bank is not giving money to you directly. It is depositing money in your account. Okay, in your account. Now you decide. Okay, sometimes if you require something, you take 5,000 rupees. Okay, after a few days you take out 10,000 rupees. Now next month maybe you don't take, then next month you take some money. Okay, so you can take out what and when you need it. And the best part is you only pay interest on the amount you use. Now suppose the bank has given you 1 lakh rupees but you have used only 50,000. Okay, then you have to give interest only on 50,000. Okay, this is usually given against a bond or other security. So if you have a bond or other security, if you keep, then bank gives you cash credit. I hope this is clear. Then there is something known as overdraft. A bank customer with a current account, okay, can temporarily withdraw more money than they have up to a set limit. Now overdraft is only given to customers who have a current bank account in that particular bank. Okay, so you can temporarily, so suppose in your current account there is 1 lakh rupees and suddenly there is a need and you require 1,20,000. So you can withdraw extra 20,000 from the bank. So this is a limit. It's not that you have 1 lakh rupees and you can withdraw 10 lakhs. No, there is a certain set limit according to your current account. Okay, the bank charges interest on this and may require assets or a personal guarantee as security. Clear? Then is discounting of bills. It means discounting of bills means bank pay for a bill before it's due. If the bill isn't paid on the due date, the bank gets the money back from the customer. Okay. And for this, the bank charges a fee for this service. Is that clear? So bank on your behalf pays your bill before the due is there. But if you are not paying that bill, then it gets money from the customer. Okay, and it charges some nominal fee for this service. Now comes the third function. Deposits is done, loans is done. Now agency functions. There are many agency functions. So a commercial bank serves as an agent for its customers. Okay, what are agency functions? Bank is acting as your agency. Now it does it in the following ways. First, it collects checks, bills, dividends, interest, rent, etc. on behalf of the customers. So the bank can collect all of this on your behalf. That is the one of the major agency function. It acts as your agency. Now most of this does for business accounts. Then it also pays checks. Okay, now you have given a check to someone. Now that someone comes and deposits that check in the bank. Then the bank is paying them on your behalf. That's agency function. You understand? Okay. So pays check, bills, rent, tax, interest, insurance premium, fees, subscription, etc. on behalf of customers. You have to learn these points. Okay. Then what is the third function? Purchases and sells securities on behalf of customer as per their instructions. If the customer has kept some security and if the customer instructs, okay, I want to sell off, okay, then the bank can do this on their behalf as per their instructions. Also, it very important function is it act as a trustee or executor or guarantor in financial matters. So you must have noted that when some people go out for study, okay, then they are told to show their bank accounts. So it is basically a guarantor for them. If they want if they want to apply for certain credit card, or if they want a home loan, then the bank balance or the bank act as their guarantor, a trustee. Okay. Then next function is carries out correspondence for and on behalf of customers. So information, passing of information and correspondence, they reply on behalf of the customer. Act as an agent of correspondent for other banks at home and abroad. So from some other bank, if you are doing some transaction, then this the bank in which you have your account act as an agent of correspondent. Now comes the next, that is the fourth function of commercial bank, general utility services. Okay, all the points came as one, no problem. So first function is transfer of funds from one branch to another. Okay, so these are general utility services. There can be many. So you at least remember 5 points. Okay, from this. So from one branch to another, if you have a bank, if you are living in a very big city like Mumbai, okay, earlier you were in Mumbai Central and you had an account there. Now maybe you shift it to Mira Nagar or Mira Road, or maybe Vasai, or maybe some other area. Okay, then you do any transactions, then the fund will go from one branch to another. Okay, you can operate from that branch also, from that area. Okay, your main branch remains somewhere else and you are there. Now issuing letter of credit and standing as a surety for customers. Accepting valuables, jewelry and securities for safe custody. Okay, you can keep your valuables, jewelry and security in the lockers. Okay, that is also a general utility service. Underwriting capital issues, you can write your bank underwrite capital issues on your behalf. Providing foreign exchange to persons going abroad and to importers. Issuing travelers checks, drafts, circular notes, etc. I want you to write in the comment sections what is travelers check. You all are smart people, 10th standard students, you all should know these. So let's do this. Let's see how many of you write what is a traveler check. Write in the comment section. Providing trade information to the customers, providing reports on the credit worthiness of the customers. So if someone needs your credit worthiness, this is when a student goes to foreign and the university wants to know that the credit worthiness of that student, then the bank can provide those statements to them. Accepting and discounting bills of exchange of exporters, advising customers with regard to investment and other financial matters. Okay, these are the general utility services. Now comes the types of bank accounts. I have told you about the types of deposits, right? Now similar with a similar name and same things, these are the type of bank accounts. So in these bank accounts, these type of savings account: current deposit account, saving deposit account, recurring deposit accounts, and fixed deposit account. Okay. So the order I've changed, but you remember, right? Current deposit is for businessmen, right? So I have tried to explain you through some analogies. So it is like a water tap. You can open and close it anytime and take as much water as you need, right? So money can be withdrawn any number of times and mainly used by businesses for their daily transactions. Now, saving deposits account. I gave you the example of a housewife before, right? So analogy is like a piggy bank. So that also gives you a little extra back. Okay. So it's like a piggy bank, but in the piggy bank, whatever you put, that amount is there. But this gives you a little extra back. It helps individuals save money slowly and earn interest. Then there is recurring deposit account, RD. I gave you an example before. I am keeping 500 rupees per month for 2 years. Right? So money keeps on accumulating and I get interest as well. So like a monthly saving habit, putting a fixed amount in a jar every month for a future goal. So deposit a fixed amount every month and get interest. Good for disciplined saving. It is very good if you want to do a disciplined saving. Then fixed deposit account, FD account. It is like locking away treasure. You keep it safely for a fixed period and it grows in value. Okay. So money is kept for a fixed time and earns higher interest than any other accounts. I gave you the example that I deposited 5 lakh rupees 1 lakh rupees in my bank account for 2 years. And you keep that amount and forget that. Okay, it's like locking away your treasure and keeping it safely. And in the meantime, it also grows in value, right? So that is a fixed deposit account. And it earns higher interest than in other accounts. RD gains less interest, whereas FD, your fixed deposit, earns you more interest. Now, can anyone write in the comments? Can you think why it earns higher interest and what is the bank's interest in doing that? Why bank wants us to keep fixed deposit amounts? Please write in the comment section. Okay. Now comparison between the types of bank accounts. So FD, I will write examples here so that you remember. 1 lakh for 2 years. Saving deposit account, you can remember with housewives. Current deposit account, you can remember it by businessmen and a business firm. And recurring deposit account is 500 rupees per month for 2 years. Okay. Now you'll remember. Okay. So the object of FD or FD, fixed deposit, is also called as time deposit account. Okay. And current, the business firm one, is also known as demand deposit. Please remember this. Okay. What did I say? Fixed deposit is also known as time deposit account and current is also known as demand deposit. demand. Okay, remember this. Now, so the first basis of a difference is objective. Fixed or time deposit account, the objective is to earn interest. Here, the objective is to cultivate habit of saving and thrift. Thrift मतलब बचत करना. Whereas for current or demand deposit, the main objective is to provide facilities to industrialists and businessmen to deposit or withdraw the money as and when they need. And for RD, recurring, it is the objective is to accumulate small savings. Now, when we talk about period of deposits, the deposits are made for a fixed period. So in FD, it is also made for a fixed period. And in RD, if you remember, 1 year to 5 years is the time. Okay. Now for saving, it is no fixed period for deposits. And here also it is an open and running account for which there is no fixed period for deposits. Now frequency of deposit, kitni baar deposit. So the deposit in this account is made at only one time. एक बार में ही डिपॉजिट करते हो आप, है ना. 1 लाख रुपया आपने डिपॉजिट किया एक बार ही. Now here deposits can be made any number of times in this account. Current में भी there is no restriction on making deposits in such account. Whereas in RD आप हर महीने करते हो उसको, every month. Okay, is the frequency of deposits. Next, restrictions on withdrawal. Deposit की तो बात हो गई, withdrawal कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. अब फिक्स्ड और टाइम, इसमें क्या होता है, जैसे हमने 2 साल के लिए FD करवाई, राइट, FD, तो हम 2 साल के बाद ही लेंगे. लेकिन क्या होता है, बीच में अगर आपको जरूरत पड़ गई तो अगर आपने निकाले बीच में, तो फिर उसके वो जो टाइम है जो बच जाता है उतना इंटरेस्ट आपको नहीं मिलता है, फिर कम इंटरेस्ट मिलता है. ठीक है. सो द अमाउंट डिपॉजिटेड कैन जनरली बी विड्रॉन एट द मैच्योरिटी. मैच्योरिटी मतलब जब आपने बोला था कि 2 साल तक है, तो 2 साल के बाद वो मैच्योर होती है FD. ओके. तो टाइम ऑफ मैच्योरिटी मीन्स आफ्टर 2 years in this case, in this example. When withdrawal is made before maturity, interest is not allowed. Okay. Then if I say about saving banks, ये हाउसवाइफ फिर से लिख लेती हूँ. इसमें क्या होता है, there are restrictions on the withdrawals. I told you in the beginning. At present, अभी क्या है, 50 withdrawals are permitted in half year by most of the banks. Okay. In 6 months or half years, you can withdraw how many times? You can withdraw 50 times. There is no restriction on withdrawals from this account. Current में तो कुछ जरूरत ही नहीं होती है, ये बिजनेस वाला फॉर्म है ना. और रिकरिंग RD में तो आप निकाल ही नहीं सकते हो. No withdrawals before the due date are allowed. Now rate of interest. I told you the highest rate of interest is in FD. So as the cost of operation of these accounts are low, because बैंक को कुछ करना ही नहीं है इसको ऑपरेशन, इस अकाउंट में ऑपरेशंस है ना, उसको तो बस रख देना है एक बार और फिर 2 साल के बाद देना है आपको. So as the cost of operation of these accounts are low, high rates of interest are allowed on this account. So the rate of interest are high. अच्छा रेट मिलता है हमको रिटर्न. Interest is allowed at a rate lower in fixed deposit account but higher than in current accounts. तो इसमें आपको मिलता तो है रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, लेकिन इससे कम मिलता है, इससे कम मिलता है, लेकिन करंट से ज्यादा मिलता है. करंट से क्यों ज्यादा मिलता है? क्योंकि करंट पे तो बार बार डालेंगे, बार बार निकालेंगे, है ना, बहुत ज्यादा इधर काम पड़ता है. तो सेविंग में आपको इंटरेस्ट मिलता है, लेकिन FD से थोड़ा कम. Now here no interest is allowed on this account as the cost of operations are high. तो करंट में इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता है. Now if we talk about RD, a comparatively low rate of interest is given. इसमें बहुत low rate मिलता है. Now when I talk about check facility is not available on FD. FD में आपको चेक की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है, जबकि चेक फैसिलिटी इज अवेलेबल ऑन मेंटेनेंस ऑफ अ मिनिमम बैलेंस. अगर आप सेविंग में मिनिमम बैलेंस रखते हो तो आपको चेक फैसिलिटी मिलती है. यहाँ करंट में तो बहुत सारे चेक्स मिलते हैं. चेक कैन बी फ्रीक्वेंटली यूज्ड फॉर विड्रॉल्स फ्रॉम दिस अकाउंट. और इधर भी RD में भी चेक फैसिलिटी नहीं है, तो फर्स्ट और लास्ट में चेक फैसिलिटी नहीं है. सो टू सम अप द होल चैप्टर, बैंक्स आर ऑफ सेवरल टाइप्स. Example: commercial, central, industrial, merchant, exchange, agricultural, cooperative, postal, and indigenous. Commercial banks accept deposits, lend money, and provide other services. Commercial banks offer many services to businessmen. Current, savings, recurring, and fixed deposit accounts are the main type of bank So I hope you have understood the whole chapter very well. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please do write in the comment section. It motivates me and encourages me to make more content for you, because you might be knowing it takes a lot of hard work to do so. Also, please share it with your friends, your schoolmates, your classmates, and keep the learning always on Zenith Academy Online. Bye bye, my dear students.